Hello guys, welcome back to my farm. I'm Jennifer and today we're doing green beans. So what you're going to need is, of course, green beans, as many as you want, of course, and then you're going to need jars. I do big jars, I do the quart jars, but you can do any size you want. You'll need rings, seals. A lot of times you can get them together or they'll come on your jars if you're just buying jars. And you'll need bowls, big bowls, ginormous bowls, even bigger than that if you got them. You'll need cannon salt or regular salt. You can use either or. And then you'll need a spoon, a regular tablespoon, and you'll need a canner. So, and your stove, of course, and your sink, of course. So just be in your kitchen. So we're going to get started. You're going to take your bean, if anybody's never broke beans before, after you pick them out of your garden. If you don't have these, people sell these all the time. So, I mean, this time of year, you can buy them from people that have grown them in their garden. Or just, if you have planted a garden, you know, you should know how to break beans. We're going to take, see how this curves this way? We're going to string your beans. And then we're going to pop it back the other direction and pull it down this way. If it don't all come off, you might have a string if you're breaking it or whatever. But we try to not have stringy beans. We don't want that. Nobody wants to eat stringy beans. So, after you get it strung, you're going to break them. So, they just pop. Now, how I like them, I like bite-sized pieces. So, I break them about the width of my finger. Now, you can break them any size you want to, but if you find a string, pull it off. You don't want stringy beans. So, you know, beans are like that. When you get a handful, pull them in there. Now, how I like to do it is I string quite a few, and when I get a handful strung, then I break a handful. So, you know, do it however you want to do it. Once you get a bowl full, then we'll go wash them and put them in our jars. Now, I know I have some noise in this kitchen because I have a fan going. My kitchen's hot, y'all. I have a fish tank over here, but y'all, this is real life. We're just going with it. You know how I am. If you've been on my channel, you know how I am. And if you haven't, please subscribe. Give this video a thumbs up if you want to learn how to can beans. People might do it different than me. If you do it your way. I'd like to know your way if you do it different than me. That way, maybe we can share some stuff on here. I'll be doing some stuff this summer, putting stuff up. So, subscribe so you can see some of my videos. So, once we get a good bowl full, we're going to go over here and wash them. I have like 3 bowlfuls over here. So, we're going to go fill up some jars. I'm going to show you how to wash them next. So, give me just a second and I'll be right back with you over here at the sink, okay? Okay, we're at the sink. Now, you want to make sure your sink is good and sanitized and your stopper is good and sanitized, and you want to put your stopper in your sink and put your beans all in your sink, okay? Now, guys, you might hear my fish tank back here and my fan's going. It's hot here in Tennessee, so you know how that is. I've got a whole pile of beans over here that we broke. So, make sure that, you know, when we're going through these beans, we're going to make sure, like if we see something that we've missed while we're broken, we're going to separate it out, okay? We're going to get rid of anything that looks bad. If we see a string or something, we're going to get rid of that. We're going to wash them in cold water. We're going to do it 3 times, okay? So when we're doing this, we're rubbing them. And when I do it, I'm doing this in the water, and I'm going back and forth, and I'm rubbing them this way. And I'm tossing them, okay? I'm going to toss them over. And when I'm doing that, I'm looking and seeing making sure all my beans are pretty, and I don't see anything bad in there, okay? And I'm moving them around, washing them good. You need searching your beans. Because, I mean, anybody can miss something when they're breaking. You You got a lot of beans. See, there's another. You don't want that in there. And if it's something big that you can break off, break it off. You don't want to waste anything either. So turn your water off when you get enough in there. I'll show you what it looks like here. Move it down. I don't want to drop you in there with them. And see, if you see something, pick it out. Whoop, I about dropped you. See this right here? Now I can break that off. I'm going to set you back up here. So, we're going to break it off. Whoop. If the bean comes out, whatever. Put the bean back in there, because we like some shellies in there. We don't want to waste anything. Now what we're going to do, we're going to take these back out and put them back in a bowl, and we're going to run water over them again, wash them again, and then the third time, I'll come back to you. Give me just a second, let me wash them again, and then the third time I'll be right back. Okay, we're back. This is number 3, guys. We're going to run all of our water in there. We're going to wash them our third time. When you get to this third time, you can feel that the beans are clean, and we're just going to make sure that this final one, we're just going to run them through here, get some water. We're just checking. Just keep checking. You're going to put them in jars. You're going to see the beans that are falling in the jars, and you can always, if you see something then, you can always get it then too. So I'm just rubbing and rubbing these beans, getting anything off of them. So, we're scanning through, trying to make sure we don't see anything. See, I still missed one. Alright, now where I've been doing these, I have a jar over here that isn't quite full, so I'm going to finish this jar first. Now when you get these beans in here, give them a good mash down, because when you put them in your pressure cooker, they're going to cook and kind of shrink up, okay? So make sure your jars are full. And set it to the side, alright? So grab you a jar. These jars have been sanitized. I run them through the dishwasher on high heat, so they'll be good and sanitized. Mash them down real good. Till they're full. You want a full jar of beans. And then whenever they cook, you'll still have room in this jar, because they're going to shrink, okay? So I'll be right back to show you exactly how much water and salt to put in them. Alright, we are back, and we're going to put salt in our beans. So we've got our cannon salt, or if you've only got table salt, you can use that. It don't matter. So how I was taught to do this was to, because this has been handed down from my mama, was to stick my spoon in. This is a spoon like you would eat cereal with, just your regular little tablespoon, and it's half of it mounded up, okay? So what I've done for you is I have measured it out for you. So I took a teaspoon, and it measures straight out to be a teaspoon. So when I put it in the teaspoon, it's a teaspoon. So you can take a teaspoon and put it in a teaspoon. Use a teaspoon if you want to. But you can mound it up on the tip of your spoon, and it's fine. And we're going to put it in all of our jars, okay? And once we do this, all of our jars of beans, we're going to fill them up with water. But you don't want to overfill them to the point that it is making our salt come out. So don't let the water come out of your jars, okay? So let's move over here to the sink, and we'll fill up our jars. Alright, so we're going to fill up our jars with cold water, so make sure it's on cold. And yes, guys, clean as you go. It is much easier if you just clean as you go. Wash your bowls when you get done breaking them and washing your beans. So turn it on. You don't want it on full blast, but you don't want it on a drizzle either. So I turn it on a pretty steady stream. And once it starts hitting this right here, you know it's about time to take it out. You do not want to overfill your bottles, okay, your jars, okay? Do not let it come out of that you want it to be full. So it's pretty close to the top. So you want to fill every jar up like that. And once you do, have your rings and your seals already lined up in a bowl, clean and sanitized, and go ahead and seal them up. And once you have all of them sealed, we'll go over here to the canner, and we'll put all of them in our pressure cooker. So let's go over here to the pressure cooker. Okay, we're at the pressure cooker, y'all. So we're going to put it on our eye, and then just fill up your pressure cooker. Some people's how different than mine, and everybody's pressure cooker might be different. So, you know, just do what you do with yours. And if you don't have one, don't be afraid. Everybody has horror stories on pressure cookers. They're not bad, I promise. So, you know, in here right now, depending on your shape of jar, I have 2, 4, 6, I have 7. Sometimes, you know, you can get more. Depending on your shape of jar, sometimes you get less if you have an awkward shaped jars in there. Then you want to add your water. So, I put mine in a jug, and then I pour it in, because you want it to come up on your jars about 3/4 of the way, okay? Because we're pretty much cooking our beans. Alright, so we're going to pour, and we're just watching to see where it comes up. And let me move you up here so you can see. I'm just pouring it on in there. So at least 3/4 of the way. I go to usually right before it curves. Right in there is pretty good. Can you see where that water level is? I hope you can see where that water level is on them. See where it's moving on it's right above the curve of the jar. So, like if I have this jar here, it's right above, right below the curve. So that's where you want it to hit on the jars in your pressure cooker. So, once we do that, we're going to put our lid on. Now, some people's lids have just this. I prefer one with a jingler, okay? Because to me, when I hear it is whenever I turn my eye down. So it's completely up to you. I've been trying to keep an eye on it so I can let y'all know, but whenever mine gets to 60 pounds, I turn it down to medium, and it stays at 60. But it has to make sure that it stays at 60, okay? So you don't want it to be at 60 and then drop it completely, so it's going to drop, okay? So the pressure valve here. Make sure it's closed, so you're going to keep your pressure in. This opens it. This keeps it closed, okay? So we're going to keep our pressure in our pressure cooker. Mash it down. You'll hear the air tighten up. Lock your lid. I turn mine just in case one of these wants to fly off. It's going to miss my microwave. Alright, that's just the way I do it. Turn my heat on high. We're going to leave it on high until it starts jingling. And whenever I say jingling, not when it starts like barely jingling, when it starts jingling and it won't stop. Because if it does just start, when you turn it down, it's going to stop. Okay? And it won't jingle no more. So you want to jingle. And then when it starts jingling, like this, to where you can hear it and it don't stop, then you turn it down to medium. And I'll come back and show you exactly what it sounds like. As soon as the steam starts escaping it, it's going to start jingling, and I'll come back as soon as the steam starts escaping it, and you'll hear the sound, okay? So I'll be right back as soon as it starts. It takes just a few minutes. So usually the first run, when you first start it, usually takes about 20 minutes, 20, 30 minutes, because everything's cold. The second run don't take near as long because you keep that warm water in there, and it heats up really quick. So the first time takes a little bit longer. Second time don't take long at all for it to start pressurizing. So be right back, guys. Alright, so see, this is what it sounds like when it starts. See, just a little bit of steam. It's just almost at 60 there. You can barely start hearing it. You want to wait until it starts going good. See? It's going to start going good in just a second. And we're still on high at the moment until this thing starts going good. It only takes just a minute for it to start going good. Once it starts, it'll start spinning, going real good. You'll hear the sound difference. And water will escape, guys. So don't be surprised if you have some water come out while it's heating up and stuff. But I always go by the jingler. But I turned it on as soon as the steam started to escape from it, to get the jingler to start moving. So this is the whole canning process, guys. And once it starts going good, we start timing for 20 minutes, and we turn our heat down to medium. This is it. So it's going pretty good now. So we're going to turn it down. See, it won't stop. So we're going to turn it down to medium. And on mine here, that would be in between the 5 and the 7 here. Because we don't want our jinglers to stop and slow down. Alright? So you want to keep it going. You want to keep the pressure, as I was doing it last night, was at 60. So you want to keep the pressure up in your pressure cooker. So we'll come back in 20 minutes. So see you in just a minute. All right, it has been 20 minutes, so we're going to turn the heat off. And we're going to take our pressure cooker, spin it back around, and we're going to slide it off of the heat, okay? Now, whenever we slide it off the heat, we want to release the pressure, right? So we're going to get a fork. Now, this is kind of loud because we got to release the pressure that's in this, all right? So we want to press this down. It helps cool it down. I know it's extremely loud. So I'm going to take you off of this so we can kind of step away as soon as it does it. So let me get you off the stand here. So we're going to press it down. See all the steam it releases? It's extremely loud. So we'll be back as soon as it cools. Okay, so it's been about 5 minutes and our pressure is completely out of our pressure cooker and we are going to open it. There will be some steam in the pressure cooker, so it's going to be hot when you open it. Just make sure you're ready to set your lid somewhere. So I'm just going to set it right behind me on my counter. I do have a towel waiting to set my jars on and stuff. I'll show you how to set them so they'll have room to breathe. So we're just going to twist to unlock. Steam shouldn't come out right yet until you actually take the lid off. So when we raise the lid is when the steam will come out. So grab it by, let me see if I can, well, by the handles. Just grab it by the handles and move it straight over. So, boy, we got some pretty looking stuff in here. Look here. Look down in there. It might be steaming up on you, but we have some beautiful jars in there. So, now how I take and get them out is with just a dish towel. You might have one of those real nifty little claw things, but around here we don't have one of those. So, we're just going to grab them and take them straight over and set them down. Now, let's go ahead and get one out. So, I just put my towel down in there. I grab a jar and see how pretty they are. And we'll just bring it straight over to our towel and we'll set it down. See? Now, I'll show you how to space them out. Let me get another jar. So when I space them out, you can already see where I've had a run on here. But when I space them out, I leave quite a bit of room in between my jars. That way they can breathe. And when they breathe, they'll seal. So this section here will sink down in and they'll seal. So that's how I set my jars. You want to leave a good bit of room in between here so they'll seal. Don't touch these because they're very hot. Unless you have a towel or one of your little claw things. So that's what they look like right there. But make sure you set them on a towel. You don't want to burn your countertop or nothing. Then you're ready for your second run. Now don't empty this water out of your pressure cooker, guys. Leave it in there because it's already warm and it's going to take less time for your second run to heat up and start jingling. So go ahead, stick your other jars in there that's ready to go and turn it on high. Seal it up. Make sure that you put your valve back down so the pressure will go back into your pressure cooker. Do not forget that step. Seal your pressure cooker up. You're ready to go. When it starts jingling, turn it down to medium. Time it for 20 minutes. It's an easy process and you'll have food to last you through the winter, or if your stores don't have food at this time, because you know some stores have a shortage. I hate to say that, but they do. And sometimes you need to prep for that kind of thing. And this is, a great thing to learn, to teach your kids that they can pass on to maybe your grandkids, My mama taught me. She's been passed down from generation to generation. And I'm teaching my nieces and nephews. So, y'all, come back and see me. We're going to do peaches. I've got peaches here. We've got blackberries. I've been doing blackberry jelly. So we're going to be doing some canning. And do not throw away all those scraps from your beans. Feed them to your cows. They like them. So we're going to be doing corn. We'll see you soon. So I hope you enjoy. Give this video a thumbs up. And if you if you're not following me, follow me. All right? See y'all later. From my farm to yours. God bless you. We love you.